Hi, my name's Cameron. I'm the historian in the Epsilon Alpha chapter of Phi Gamma Delta, and I'm here to give you a house tour. Let's do it. This house was built in the early 80s, late 70s, and there's been many people that have come through here. Let's go have a look inside. So this is the main floor, including the living room, and it's got a special quirk about it, and I'll show you in a second. If you can hear, whenever we walk, the floor creaks. And this is for a special reason. And about 25 years ago, a DJ set up in this room with all the couches put away, and all of the people for this party showed up, and they played the song Jump. And every time the song said jump, people would start jumping at the same time. And so eventually the floor literally caved into the basement, which is why it creaks now. So it's a nice reminder of our little history with our parties. This here is our dining room. Usually for Monday night dinners, this is where everybody would gather and eat, and we would tell stories and have fun and just do a whole lot of fun stuff here. We also play video games here as well. We've had a lot of tournaments. There's been a number of times where I would come to the house to relax and I would play NHL with my friend. This here is the kitchen. This is where all the food is made, where all the houseboys make their breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There's been a lot of stories here as well. This is also where all the Monday night dinners are cooked, where 4 brothers get together and volunteer to cook a meal for all 60 of us. And it's quite the ordeal. Now in this hallway, because we're moving, there aren't any year-end pictures of our chapter by year to year. However, normally there would be across all of these walls, even behind me on that wall. As well, there's also rooms all along this wall as well, where brothers actually live, and they have lived for 30, 40 years, albeit at different times. Now let's go take a look at the basement. On these walls, we had even older pictures of all the brothers, even when there was just as little as 10 brothers one year. But as you can see here, we have a picture of our emblem handmade by one of our brothers a long time ago. Now let's go actually take a look at the basement. So this is the basement where a lot of brothers play video games, watch movies. Any sort of thing you'd see between brothers would happen down here. As well, we have our Fiji undergrad hockey game jerseys. These used to be worn when the graduates played the undergraduates hockey game that we hold regularly, usually once a year. As well, if you notice, there's a lot of beams and thick support pillars around here. What the engineers did to actually repair the ceiling and the floor from that giant party I was telling you about. So for now, let's go take a look at the bathroom and a couple different rooms. So this is one of the bathrooms. There's been a lot of things that have happened to this bathroom, such as a giant water leak that led to a lot of black mold, which was repaired. But over COVID, what some of the brothers decided to do, specifically the ones that live down here, is paint murals of Among Us all over the place. The game was really popular because anybody could play on any device, and it was a really big bonding thing during a really tough time. Now let's go take a look at some of our artifacts. So this is one of the bedrooms that brother used to live in and brothers used to live in. But because we're moving, one of the brothers has already moved out, and we've been using it as a storage space. So in here you can see a number of important things for us, such as our chapter badge that we get when we go from a charter into an actual full-on chapter. As well, this giant sign that says Phi Gamma Delta was actually held in our living room, which everyone can see. Now let's go look at an actual bedroom. So this is what one of the bedrooms looked like. This currently is James Colabella's bedroom. He is the current treasurer of the chapter, and as you can see, he keeps his room nice and clean, which is a not so common theme. He's really big into guitars, and he really is a nice guy. In general, this is what rooms typically look like in this house. Now, let's go look upstairs. So here on the stairs, there's a number of things to talk about. Currently, this is just white, but there used to be Campbell's soup can, like wallpaper, all across here. And it's actually kind of jarring to see this stairwell without any soup cans. As well, we call this the Delta room. As you can see the outline of a Delta here, which there was actually a wood one, which we've taken down. But on the inside, you can see we have the Delta room. So it's an unfinished room in this house that was just never finished by the university. But as a secret, we keep it here. And we've actually signed some of our names at the very end of the wall there. Now let's go look at some rooms. So here we have the former president's room, but we have a more special person that last lived here. So as part of my pledge class, we had a brother from Scotland named Stephen who came here and didn't even know that he wanted to join a fraternity, but he saw us at the club's fair and came around to the house, and the rest is history. And for the last 6-7 months, he's lived here and has made such a mark on all of us. Once you're a brother, you're always a brother, and you're brothers for life. Before Stephen lived in here, our previous president lived here, and fun story about him, he actually had a pet rabbit in here for a couple months. Now let's go look at the president's room. So I lied a little bit when I said the president's room, as this is not the current president's room, but this is the room that the majority of presidents have lived in as part of being part of Fiji. You'll notice that it is very dirty. This is because it is Tanner Mergel's room. However, that is not a knock on Tanner Mergel, because we love him a lot. He has definitely been another brother that has made his mark on this chapter for a lot of good things. This is just how he decides to live. Now let's go look at another special room. So this is one of the double rooms in this house. You'll notice that you have these bunk beds made out of actual solid wood. These were custom built a number of years ago by one of the brothers. And you used to have 2 people, maybe up to 3 people living in this room at one point. But now, because of COVID and also because living with a roommate, an actual roommate, sucks, they're just single rooms now. Another special room, the library. So this is the Jonathan J. Doody Memorial Library. This library is special because it is named after Jonathan J. Doody, who was a brother in '93, a pledge class in '93, who wanted to join and was a very, very talented person. He was smart, he was great at basketball, and he was just a kind soul. Unfortunately, he was killed in a car crash before he ever was able to become a full-blown brother, and as a result, the Brotherhood decided to posthumously award him the status of brother. So because of that now, we've named a library after him. Let's go take a look inside. So this is what the library looks like. As you can see, a lot of brothers like to study in here. These 2 are currently doing engineering right now. They're taking a full course load in summer. They're quite the studious students. Over here we usually have a bunch of textbooks and other books of note that we like to keep. We're currently sorting through them all, so it's a little bare right now. And yeah, as well, a notable thing is currently right here is our mascot, Gamma, the owl. So this has been part of the fraternity, part of our chapter for a very, very long time. And Snowy White Owl, as you know, is a mascot of our chapter, as our fraternity in general. So yeah, let's go take a look at the current president's room as well as the bridge. Now let's go into the current president's room. So this is his room. Our current president is Tyler Zeniak. He lives here, and as far as I know, this is the first president to live in here, but I'm probably wrong about that. You'll notice that there's another set of bunk beds here, which means that more than one brother used to live in this space. Clearly, Tyler has done a good job keeping it safe and clean. But yeah. Now let's go into my favorite room in this entire house, and you'll find out soon why. So we call this room the bridge, for a very good reason. This was actually supposed to be a balcony that was eventually finished into an actual room. As such, there's two entrances into here. There's one through Tyler's room, and also through a room we just looked at. As you can see, there's couches here and everywhere, but the most important part is what's above me. Signatures of the graduate brothers. So, over the years, as people graduate, people sign their names as a way to memorialize themselves among not just their pledge class, but among PG graduates themselves. In fact, this room was the main reason that I joined Fiji in the first place. I joined last year. However, my very first year at this university in 2019, I went to barbecues here, and I actually looked in this room and saw all the signatures, and I heard stories from the historian at that time, and I just knew that one day I wanted my signature up here. And it's my turn to do it now, considering that we won't be able to sign it really soon. So well, thank you for coming to our house tour, and this is just another piece of history for the books. Now we're ready to start a new chapter in our new home.